We haven't heard much from Crucial since Micron announced the era of its popular Crucial Ballistic product lineup last year. The recent announcement of its new Pro Series DDR5 memory got me excited, and we managed to get our hands on a pair of the Crucial Pro DDR5 5600 kit, this time thanks to Crucial. As I'm not really a fan of RGB lighting since day one, the simple design of the Crucial Pro DDR5 is something I would love to see more. My only issue with the kit out of the box is the memory timings. That CL46, well, it will work just fine of course, but definitely needs some optimization if you are planning to use it for gaming purpose. So in this video, we'll be sharing with you our findings on the effect of memory timings on the gaming performance. The Crucial Pro DDR5 5600 comes in an all-black, low-profile heatsink and non-RGB design. RGB fanatics might want to skip this, but those of you who don't like RGB lightings like me will find the appeal in this. Since it's come from Crucial, you can expect to see Micron memory chips on this kit. As mentioned earlier, CL46 will definitely work fine for normal use, but we're curious to know just how much can we optimize it so we can get the best performance if it's used for a gaming PC. It took us quite a while to understand its behavior and limitation, and I must say it's totally worth the effort. Now, before we show you the data, here's the list of the specs we've used for the test for your reference. And as games nowadays gotten bigger in size, we will need more storage space just for the game itself. But we did notice that a handful of titles actually takes almost forever to load when it's stored on a hard drive. We eventually stopped using hard drive and migrated all our games to SSDs because game loads way faster and it's becoming more affordable right now. The one we have used here is the Crucial P700 PCIe Gen 5 SSD. PCIe Gen 5 SSD is still not as common as if we compare it to Gen 4 SSD of course, though it's still backward compatible with Gen 4 interface and will run up to 7000 Mbps on both the sequential read and write performance, which is more than enough for most use cases. For this test, we have the data for 3 selected titles: Hogwarts Legacy, The Witcher 3, and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, using 4 different memory settings to see if these different settings really matters. And we have confirmed that DDR5 6400 CL32 is the best we can achieve with our test system. So the memory settings we will be using will be the SMP settings, DDR5 5600 at CL32, DDR5 6000 at CL32, and DDR5 6400 at CL32. We will start off with the simple and straightforward method to show the data, the usual average and 1% low graph. In Hogwarts Legacy, we can clearly see that tightening the timings alone will actually do a very significant difference, where the 1% low went from 56 to 63 and the average frames went from 117 to 126. As we increase the memory frequency, we can still see improvement in the 1% low, but the average frames, on the other hand, stays almost the same from 5600 to 6400. Similar behavior can be seen on Spider-Man, but it's slightly different in The Witcher 3, where the 1% low gets better with the memory frequency, but the average frame is actually worse on the DDR5 6400. At this point, the data shows that 6000 CL32 seems like the sweet spot for this kit, but is that really it? Let's take a look at the frame time graph here. We don't usually show this because of the complicated graphs, but we'll still show you some of the data for a better view of the performance. At first glance, it's quite a mess, to be honest, but they are all having one thing in common: the consistency, which DDR5 6400 CL32 is better if compared to the rest. So ideally, you want to try to achieve 6400 CL32 with this kit. Else, your second choice will be 6000 CL32, which can be achieved easily. Despite its lowest timing at CL46, the Crucial Pro DDR5 5600 still offers a reasonable overclocking headroom and can actually deliver the performance if you put in some effort to optimize it. While the other kits we have tested can run on really high frequencies, it's not really something that mainstream users often do. I think the Crucial Pro DDR5 5600 has positioned itself as a cost-effective and feasible option for users who want to upgrade to DDR5 without having to spend the extra bucks on what they don't really need for daily use. And that's all for the video this time. Do let us know what's your thoughts on DDR5 and its timing. Will you even put in effort to actually optimize it, or you will just run it on XMP and call it a day? That's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time.